Hello and welcome to Dishonored 2. This is some gameplay capture, 60 FPS, on the PC, using a gamepad. I may as well tell you all this now, because halfway through people will go, what's she doing? Now this is not the final build, this is not the final build of the game, don't get your knickers in a twist. This has been floating around at events, I think. It's about 2 to 3 hours into the game in chapter 4, and it is called Clockwork Mansion. This guy who invents stuff, he's made the Clockwork Soldiers, has stolen our friend, who you may recognise. He's from the first game, so we need to pop in, also take the Clockwork Maker out, or, you know, something. You don't have to kill him, there is a non-lethal option. Those of you wondering, we'll look at both, don't panic, don't panic. So, firstly, Karnaca. This is a beautiful, beautiful Mediterranean-style island. It looks amazing. It looks amazing. This is not the final build. It's not optimised yet, I don't think. I mean, if it's optimised, great. If it's not optimised, fucking hell. So, yeah, we need to pop into the Clockwork Mansion. Now, I have been told by the devs that actually, for this bit, just so that we could all get a little bit accustomed to what we were doing, which is what you can see me doing on the screen now, is working out the moves and stuff, because it's been a while. There should be enemies here, but they have actually kindly removed them for us, because we're special flowers. Anyway, so you've got your standard like lean moves, you know, your stealth stuff, looking around corners. You've got your crouch, you've got attacks. And you've got, so you can block and you can attack with your sword, your swordy dagger thing. There's also a load of other offensive and non-offensive weaponry should you choose to use it. Crossbows, sleep darts, mines, and of course things like Far Reach, which is Emily's version of Blink.
The mansion has a strange beauty to it. Maybe I'll find a way to end this without killing Kirin Jindosh.
So we're going to go in and we're going to try and take this dude out in whatever variety, but let's have a very quick look at the UI. So I've got my objectives here, my mission clues, my mission items. It basically, currently it just says make your way in. We haven't found any clues or items. You can do that by reading stuff around the map, listening in. You know the gist. Powers, you can spec into them. You can add extra shit to them if you want, which is great. It looks like you can possess a rat there, but I haven't got the power to do it, so that's not happening. So you can do some passive stuff. You've also got bone charms, lore and maps, and travel log, which I'm not going to go into in case there are legit spoilers in there. So let's go into the mansion and see what the hell is going down. Just wait, guys. Like, your mind is just going to pop.
All right, I need to eliminate Jindosh and find Anton Sokolov.
So yeah, we're here to rescue our dear friend Anton. Also, please don't mind the saves. It just gives me a bit of freedom with lethal and non-lethal. Also, if I die, you know, I've not played this before. This is the first time of touching Dishonored 2. After a semi-love-hate relationship with Dishonored 1, I found the controls very clunky. I'm delighted to say, though, this doesn't have that. So if you were one of those people who were like, I'm not sure, Dishonored 2's fucking great. And hopefully, the 2 videos I've got going out today will show you. And let's start with this. Some fucking clockwork.
Who would build something like this? And why?
Because it's amazing.
Someone's activated one of the mechanisms in my house.
Jindosh.
Welcome, visitor. My home is always open. It's one of my great curiosities, seeing how the common mind navigates these shifting rooms. I'm Kirin Jindosh, but you must know that. I invite you to continue, stranger. Just come up the stairs. Meet with me face to face in the upper hall.
So, what are you going to see in front of you is a clockwork robot machine, dude. Now, they can see you.
That's it, you're almost there. Come in.
Yeah, no, I'm taking him out first, mate. I'm not falling for your shit.
Appointment may pass beyond that threshold. Most unexpected and truly impressive. Not many people would still be standing after that. I expected the courtesy of seeing you by this point.
Mate, I'll be there in a minute. Just let me explore, right? Let me tell the nice people on the internet about the fucking game, yeah? So what you just saw is a Clockwork robot. Now, if they come at you, then you do obviously have to combat with them, but you can sneak up behind them and RT the same as you would for a lethal takedown for a human being. Now, they do have some vision. The vision is not bad. However, if you, say, were to accidentally take their head off, they will switch to sentry mode, and that is truly fucking terrifying. Imagine Daredevil as a robot.
I expected the courtesy of seeing you by this point.
Also, I'm just ignoring him because he's just repeating the same thing. He'll continue to do that until we go up the hall to engage him, but there's stuff to loot. There's health elixirs. There's, like, papers that will tell me important things, possibly about what to do with him or where Anton is. You know? And it's not an essential thing. You don't have to do it, but the more information you have, I'm sure you'll appreciate, the easier it is to kill the bastard or do whatever to it. So we are going to have a little snoop. Also, you know me, I love stealing things. Anything that's not tied down, it's fucking gone. It's in my pocket. So this is brilliant.
You're surrounded by the individual components of my greatest creation, the Clockwork Soldier.
Oh, thanks, mate. So, a rewire tool. It lets you disable security devices and make them work in your favour. I think, in theory, then, you can put it in a Clockwork Soldier and it'll work for you. But I never got round to that because I just killed them all. Because I thought, better safe than sorry. I don't know who scorched the fucking sun, but the machines had a hand in it. You know? So, just, I know that quote is completely wrong.
I invite you to meet me face to face. Come over to the glass door, here in the upper hall.
Yeah, alright, I will, but I just want to show them this death first, because I decided I was going to try and far reach through a big electrical tasery barrier thing that I didn't turn off. You can turn them off. And I fucked up, guys. I fucked up. But it's a cool little mechanic, because there's loads of these little, like, booby traps scattered around the mansion. So they're pretty cool. Just so long as you don't do what I literally am doing now. Right, let's go and have a chat with him, shall we?
Now that I see you, I've worked out who you are. Not a hired cutthroat. Your clothes are too fine. An aristocratic thrill seeker? That's closer. You've trained with weapons formerly, but you're not a salon fencer. There's a bit of back alley in your movements. All that, and you have your father's eyes, your imperial majesty. Welcome, Lady Emily Caldwin.
Impressive, Jindosh. Then you must also know why I'm here.
I'd assume my involvement with the Duke brought you to my door. Or maybe you're after washed-up Anton Sokolov, comfortably residing in the assessment chamber. Either way, come find me and take whatever it is you seek. But if you fall, I'll have your body carried to my lab for dissection and study. Until either comes to pass, your secret is safe with me.
I'll see you soon, Jindosh.
So that is Jindosh, who's a charming individual.
Until then.
Who definitely doesn't want to dissect my body for science or anything. Ha, ha, ha.
Clockwork soldiers, there's an interloper in my home.
So, at this point, if you didn't prepare yourself and you didn't take out those soldiers, you might be swarmed with, well, I say swarmed, 1 or 2 will pop up. Frankly, you don't need more than 2. They're quite hardy, shall we say. That's the remains of one, just scattered. So now we have to work out how to get to him when he's behind all that stuff. If you remember in the cinematic trailer, she's doing her shadow walk chasing him. We don't kind of have the same luxury. Instead, we have to use the clockwork elements of the house to navigate our way around, to get into different places, and almost slip between the cracks in certain places. I'll show you that later. First, let's have a little read. So there's various bits of documentation around the map, which will give you flavour text, such as this one, saying about us, the unseated Empress, Emily. There's also clues which will help you in discovering where Anton is, where Twat McGee is, how to get to him, and any additional stuff that may alter the objective. You know, there is a non-lethal option, for example. If you find the documentation for that, it will provide you with how to do it. Rough idea of how to do it. You gotta work out for yourself. It's not a hand-holding game. We know this.
It'll wake up on its own if a fight breaks out. They're blind, but they can still hear.
Creepy to know they might be listening to us. Can they understand what we're saying?
No more than an audiograph machine can.
Well, that's a fucking relief. Not. Huh? If you've played any sort of stealth game, you know that there's a few different ways you can do it. You could just leave them all. In Dishonored, there is also lethal and non-lethal paths, which can alter the very fabric of reality. We know me, I'm not exactly the non-lethal type, am I? And I like to make sure that people are done with. You know, I don't want unaccounted shit on my levels. I don't want a guy wandering around. It just causes problems. So we're just going to pop and get her. Also means you could pickpocket her, which means cash.
Worst assignment ever.
My clockworks weren't enough for you. You also slaughter my guards. Well, at least they're easier to replace.
There is another guard somewhere, isn't there? And there's also this machine. Now, as I said before, the machines, if they're active, can see and they can hear you. If you shoot the head off, all they can do is hear, which is weird, because where are the ears? I don't know. But if they're in this mode, which is sort of standby, they're just listening out for sounds of battle, whatever that means. If you can not do battle around them, you should be able to dispatch people without setting them off and then take out the machines.
Stand clear! I'm bringing up the arc pylon!
So we're just going to drop this guy back. Just drop him around here so he's not in the way. It's less for that machine and more for the other guard that you heard, because he does wander. And then we're going to have a little go at sneaking up to this guy. Now, I have yet to work out exactly how far you can push it, which is why I'm saving. But you can push it quite far if they're in this mode. Obviously you can't run up to them, I don't think. But you can just waltz up and do that.
Playback indicates that the machine is unauthorized encrypted.
Really the easiest thing to do to deal with them.
You've beaten one of my clockwork soldiers. I'll have questions about that. Once I have you restrained.
No, you won't. Fuck off, mate. You won't. They also have plaques, which are... I don't know what they're for. It feels like they're collectible, or maybe you, like, hand them in, or some shit. I don't know yet. Obviously, that will all be revealed later into the game. But for now, we have a bigger question at hand, which is, where is Anton? For I much desire to speak with him. I am literally trying to get all the shit phrases in, guys, because why not? Get a bit of Matrix. Tell me, where is Gandalf? Yeah, so there's an awful lot of stealthing around in this game, obviously, because it is a stealthy game, but it doesn't feel frustrating like some stealth can be. You know, I'm going to wait here for fucking ever. There is a rhythm to it, and obviously that does come down to Emily and Corvo having the ability to, like, blink or far reach about.
I sense your movements. I know where you are. I love to sit there, smoking and sketching out new ideas.
Have you got pressure plates in this whole place? Because Jesus Christ, you're just weird and creepy. Also, look at all the ashtrays, guys. There's so much smoking goes on in that room. I love the aesthetic, though. It's like really nice. Anyway, let's have a little... Whoops. Let's try that again, shall we? Let's have a little go with the old crossbow. Oh, shit. That's still in. Beheading. So, we are now going to skip ahead and have a little look at how the house works, because one of the first challenges is to get Anton out of the assessment chamber, I think it's called. And what that is it's a maze for the machines where they can learn how to solve certain puzzles and stuff, and they've just put him in the middle of it. So we'll see that in a minute. But first, I'm kind of fucking about with the levers and stuff, because different levers do different things. Some of them turn things off. Most of them move the house around. Now, if you've seen 13 Ghosts, this entire mansion is a little bit upsetting.
Sequence of timing. The pleasure of things set into motion, from the bright red birth of the cosmos to your last shuddering breath.
I'm sure that's not a thing. I'm sure he isn't making a clock that's, like, built out of Satan.
As the walls and floors move, can you feel the fluidity of the gears and rotors?
But it is really cool that you can just go, oh, hey, I'm just going to drop between the floors and get into, for example, the servants' quarters.
We've been here for months, but we've barely seen a third of the house. If he can replace members of the Grand Guard with those blasted mechanical men, why not us?
Do you have to ask? Can you imagine one of them pouring tea? It might take your hand off.
Understandably, they're quite paranoid about the whole thing, which I don't blame them for. Because, you know, guards are being replaced with machines. Speaking of guards, would you like to see some shadow walking? Because we're about to do some shadow walking.
Let me. This can't be. No. Come on, let's finish this.
So I am not the best at the parrying and dodging thing. That's something I didn't like in Dishonored 1. I felt it was a little bit too restrictive. I mean, bear in mind, I'm used to auto-countering and stuff, so it's a little bit of my own fault. But I absolutely fucking love Shadow Walk. Like, you just turn into this monstrosity and just rip guards to shreds. So there's a little demo of it being used. I think you can use it to scale walls as well. The main gist of it is it lowers your visibility. So I suppose you could use it in some areas where you're wanting to sneak around a little bit. Or you could use it for offensive stuff. Or, in theory, you can use it like Emily does in the cinematic trailer. There's not a hope in hell I'd manage that, because it's some hardcore timings on her part.
This is amazing.
Some kind of trouble? In this part of town? Honestly, why can't they keep all the riffraff in a separate place?
So, of course, there's also the aristocracy in this game. We are part of the aristocracy. That doesn't mean we have to like it.
Do you know how long we've waited for this
Be
appointment?
careful. This was devised to test the limits of the Clockwork soldiers. Quite dangerous. If you're really looking for Sokolov, that old nag is around here somewhere.
Who are you and what have you done?
Me? Nothing. Nothing until now, I think. So he's a civilian. We're not going to hurt him. He's just a posh bastard who's in the wrong place at the wrong time because for some reason people are being invited down here to check out the Clockwork, because that's definitely a sensible thing to do when you're fueling Satan's clock. You're not fueling Satan's clock. This is not 13 Ghosts, Hannah. Jesus Christ, get it right. Anyway, you'll also notice there's a bone charm nearby. Both Emily and Corvo are equipped with the Heart, which is a strange artifact that reveals runes, and bone charms, both of which can be used to enhance your abilities. This bone charm, however, I'm pretty sure is between the floors, and I did spend a little bit of time looking for it, so there will be a cut here because I didn't manage to find it, and I was going, it's behind one of the fucking switches, I don't know which one, but I've on a little bit of a time limit here, so at some point I'll probably go back and look for that when I play the game, and yes, I will be doing a playthrough of it, so don't panic. The last thing we have to do in this video is free Anton, and then we're going to pick this up in the second video, which will be in the video description, so don't panic. Don't worry, and it should be up at the same time, so you should be able to go straight from this one into the other one. But I thought that's probably the best place to cut it, because stuff does respawn when you pick him up. Various things happen, and obviously we've still got to go and kill Captain Douchebag. So we'll do it that way.
What cruelty is this? With this machine, maybe you won't have to die after all, Jindosh.
So what we've just picked up there is the information that lets us do a non-lethal takeout, which obviously some of you Rithian included, if he's watching. Hi, Rithian. Will be interested in doing because of completionist or not killing everyone, which I kill everyone. Kill them all! So, welcome to the assessment chamber. Everything moves constantly. It's great. Except the machines, which definitely aren't moving anymore.
The clockwork you just destroyed served as the prototype for depth perception. I'll collect it and add it to my gallery.
Oh, okay. Depth perception. So, as you can see here, there are pressure plates, and you stand on them or get off of them to raise different walls. So, had the machine been around, it could have potentially influenced that. In a good way or a bad way. In fact, I think it did influence it once, which allowed me to get out and then kill it. But you're then also wandering around with the machine. You don't want that nonsense. It's just a bit... Oh, shit. No, I don't want to do that. It's just a bit risky, because if you then have to try and get out with Anton in hand, you've got to fight a machine, and it's just awkward. But this is him. This is Anton. This is where he lives, in the middle of this maze. It's really, really weird. He's got like a glass ceiling so everyone can see in and go, oh, he's having a shit.
Can it be? Is that young Emily Caldwin?
Anton, save your strength. I came to take you out of here.
Jindosh has bigger plans than you know. An army of his Clockwork soldiers. It would be the end.
I'm going to visit Jindosh too, old friend.
Oh dear. I think he's passed out. Well, in the next video, we will get him the heck out of here. So check that video description. Please like the video if you're enjoying it. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.